Hey guys, this is the Fourth Lock Guy, and I thought I would do a quick collection update, and I'm going to break this into a few different videos just because I don't want them to be too long. So I'm going to start with the folding, my folding collection, folding locking blades, we'll say, and we're going to start with this. This would be the full-size Crooked River. When this first came out, it was one that I just had to have. Now, when I got it in hand, it was a little bit bigger than what I expected, but it serves a great purpose and role in my collection, so therefore it stays. Great camping knife, great work knife just in the yard, and you know, gets the job done. It's a great knife. No complaints about it at all. Very smooth, centered, perfect example of the Crooked River. Next up is a Kaiser, and I picked this up from somebody who's just selling it at a good price. Thought I'd give it a shot and really like it. Yeah, great blade shape, great handle, very utilitarian. You know, nothing very fancy about it, but very well put together as well. This is the see if I can get the name there. I always forget the name. Begletter. The A2, and obviously in green G10, I believe. So nice looking knife. Next up is the Para 3, and again I picked this up used, great price, and really enjoy this knife. It's a great EDC, not a hard heavy worker, but your everyday tasks, it's great. Great blade steel, great, you know, flat grind. You can do anything. Usually not a lanyard guy, but that's the way it came, and I kind of like it. So also came with this Casey Lynch clip on it, so I really enjoy that as well. So there's the Para 3. Next up is the Mass Drop Falcon. Nice little blade, kind of around the same size as a Techno, and liked it as well. Gets some nice use. Very just kind of a beefy blade and good cutter. Not a huge fan of this huge finger choil here, but I guess it has a purpose. So decent little knife. Next one is a gift from my buddy Knife Techs. This is a buck, I believe it's the 110, and it is a lightweight version, red micarta polished, and this has S35 blade, Boss heat treat, and I'm guessing that's the serial number on it, 96. So I know this is kind of a limited edition, and then he added a thumb stud opening, and works pretty well too. So can be a one-handed opener, and pretty big knife too. Not too far off from the Crooked River. So another great camp knife, and you gotta have at least one buck in your collection, right? So just kind of on a side note, you know, I've done a lot of trading knives. I used to have a much bigger Pelican case, a 21, and they were all drop-ins, like vertical, and this is a much smaller case, and I've tried to just limit to my collection so it doesn't get out of control, and you know, actually try and use all my knives and not be a collector so much. So this is actually a knife roll that I had made from Man Belt Leather. This is Rudy. There's his stamp, and I think he's changed it to, actually it says Man Belt Leather on it now instead of made in Wisconsin. So, but great work. I've had a few things done by him, and I've had nothing but great experience. Great dude. So kind of a nice little way to hold your knives. I've got 6 knives here. Next up would be the mini Crooked River, which is not very mini at all. Just as a size comparison, it's almost the same size and dimensions as the 940. So just a little bit more, for me, city knife, I guess you would say, right around the 3-inch mark or so is what I consider, good user everyday carry blade. Bigger blades, if I'm going out camping or hiking or whatever, I'll take one of those with me. But just in general, everyday carry, right around the 3-inch mark, it hits perfect for me. So mini Crooked River, and of course the 940. Nothing fancy about this one, just the satin blade, and then the green handles. I mean, I carried this for close to a year, and it did everything I ever needed it to do. Great blade. So it's one of those, I feel like it's kind of like a buck. You've got to have it in your collection. It's just such a great blade to have. So can't go wrong with the 940. Next up, I'm going to put these kind of as a pair, because when these came out, they came out around the same time, and I kind of fell in love with both of them, especially this one. This is the Zero Tolerance 0808, and this is the 0450. These were both titanium, or they still are. Had them anodized by a local buddy of mine, Troy, TWS777 on Instagram, and he kind of pimped these out for me. Did a bronze, I forget what he called it. This is kind of a bronze stonewash, and with all the hardware, he did kind of a bronze heat treat, I guess you would call it. So just incredibly smooth knife. I've cut myself many times on this one and this one. If I don't get my thumb out of the way, it'll come down on you. So very smooth blade, the 0808. I mean, he just did a phenomenal job with that. And then same thing on the 0450. Same thing with the hardware, kind of a bronze hardware. He kind of did a satin rub on there instead of a stone wash, but did a great job with that. Swapped out the back spacers on this one, I believe. I think they come in green. I changed them to red. So anyways, there's the 0450. And I've got another 0450 here. The 0450 CF, lightweight and kind of just blacked out version. Exact same knife. And I changed the hardware out on these two. I changed from green to red just because I like black and red rather than black and green. Green is one of my favorite colors, but for some reason I think the red goes better on this one. So I swapped them out. So there's that. And then last one in this roll here is the Mass Drop Crux. And this knife, when I saw it on the Mass Drop, kind of hit on all of my likes. Like, it just went straight down the list, and everything I like is in this knife, and still holds true today. When I got it, I mean, right out of the box, just lightning fast, smooth, just a great knife, especially for the price that they do all these mass drops with. I mean, you just can't go wrong. I don't know if there's been a bad one yet, at least not one that I've handled. So the only critique I have on this one is kind of a lot sticks out of your pocket. I mean, I wish it was a little bit lower right of a clip, but I mean, that's a very small nitpick. I think it's a great knife. So there's the Mass Drop Crux. And then this next one is kind of my high-end. Oh, here's another Mass Drop. This is, gosh, I can't even remember the name of this. This is a recent Mass Drop, and this is another really nice edition, and you could get it in a few different colors. Just this typical gray, and then I think they had purple and maybe like a gold or bronze. yeah, I mean, this one's been reviewed a lot recently, and I picked it up just because it was purple. I mean, I just thought it was such a nice knife, and I wanted a different color because a lot of my knives are the same colors. You know, titanium is gray, and I wanted something a little bit different, so this is my purple knife. So anyways, that one's a fan favorite. I think everyone that's reviewed this has enjoyed it. So great knife. Now we're getting into all of my high-end stuff. This is the Chris Reeve Mnundi with the ebony inlays. Just a great gentleman's knife. These knives are great for slacks. You know, you can put them in your slacks. You can actually clip it to your shirt pocket, and it looks like a pen. I mean, it's just very smooth and just a beautiful knife, and very, very smooth. I mean, I didn't know what to expect when I first got this, and it is just, wow, it's impressive. So there's my Mnundi in ebony, and I have another Mnundi in spalted beech. When this came out, I just loved this handle material, so wanted to get that. And I actually got this in a trade. I've gotten actually a lot of these in trades, so I haven't spent a whole lot of money, believe it or not, on this collection. I've just been doing a ton of trading. You know, trade 2 of my knives for 1 nicer knife, and then just trade and trade and trade. And I mean, some of these, if I trace where they came from, I mean, some of these, it took me 3 or 4 trades to finally get these, but I, you know, just kept trading and slimmed down my collection, but also went quality over quantity. So there's the Mnundi in spalted beech. And then here is kind of my Grail knife. This is the small 21 Sabenza basket weave Damascus. I mean, just a really, really pretty blade. And Macassar ebony is what they call this. Just a really pretty inlay on that. So there's kind of my Grail knife. That is a ultra fancy knife. I don't know what I'll do with this. I don't know if I like it in the collection, but it's almost too nice to carry. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep it. Gotta have it. Next up is small 21 in single blade. This is a great blade shape. And I've got my small 21 in my pocket. This is the one I carry 90% of the time. If I'm gonna be doing a lot of box cutting or breaking down things, I actually use this one because this blade shape is just a great slicer through cardboard and breaking down boxes. So that's my use for this knife. And then of course I just showed you my regular 21. I've got another 21 small, and this is red linen micarta. I just really liked the look of that. So same, just different material. So double silver thumb lugs on that one. And then last 2, a large 21. You can't have a small without a large, right? Yeah, this thing is just a great slicer. I mean, there's a reason Chris Reeve's name is kind of synonymous with quality. It really is a quality knife. The high hollow grind on this one is just a beast of a slicer. So this is a great knife to have around too. And then last in the collection is a 25. So same thing, I kind of have a black micarta theme going on, which is why, you know, a lot of them are matchy. Just kind of had to have it. So here's my 25. And that is my collection right there. It has slimmed down quite a bit. I used to have 3 times this amount of knives, and I just traded them off and went quality over quantity. So hope you guys enjoy. Catch me on the next one. 4th Glock Guy out.